today I wanted to talk about how to kind of become a model. So I've been modeling for 8 years now, and I have modeled for companies like Target, modeled for Eastbay, I've modeled for Adidas, I have modeled Nike clothes, Puma clothes, and I feel like every time I post something on Instagram or on Facebook, I always get a couple people messaging me and asking like, how did you get into modeling, or how could I get into modeling? And so I just thought today I would just make a video for you all, how to become a model in today's world. So the first thing to do is to decide what kind of model or what kind of category of modeling you fit in. And there's a lot of different categories of modeling. I'll just go through a couple of them. So you have your like high fashion modeling, and usually that's women between the size who are taller than 5'8". You don't have to be, but normally it is women who are taller than 5'8". So you kind of got your high fashion models, and then you have your lifestyle models, which is kind of more like, you know, Target, Eastbay, and Adidas, and American Eagle, and brands like that. Other categories of modeling include, you know, if you're a child or if you have a child, you know, they'd go into the children's, you know, modeling category. You have your curvy models, so, you know, women who wear, you know, plus size clothing, they're curvy models. You have your glamour models, you can be a fit model, you can be a runway model. So there's really a large section of modeling that really almost anyone can really fit in. You don't have to be, you know, 5'8". You might have to be 5'8" or taller in fashion. Not always, again, but usually they are a little bit taller. But there are other categories of modeling that people can be in. So again, the first thing you're gonna wanna choose is which category you think you fit best in. From there, you're gonna wanna create a portfolio. What a portfolio is basically a series of photos of you showing your different modeling looks. And the first shot you're gonna want to get done is a headshot. A headshot can literally be done by your friend or a family member, just right on their smartphone. It doesn't have to be professional. And basically what a headshot is literally kind of what it sounds like. It's a shot of your head from kind of the top of your head kind of to your chest area that really shows off what you look like. Again, by no means does this have to be professional, but I do have some recommendations on your headshot. So a headshot, you're gonna wanna always take it on some sort of blank wall, and that's just to have, you know, no distractions. Whoever you're gonna be sending your photos to, they don't want any distractions. They don't want to see other things in the background. They want it to look as professional as possible. So I recommend taking it on a blank background. For clothing, I would recommend wearing a black or white shirt. Again, this is just to look a little bit more professional and to, again, have no distractions. And I wouldn't wear any jewelry, any necklaces, earrings. I wouldn't wear anything too loud. If you have some like gold studs or gold hoops, I think that might be fine, but I wouldn't wear anything too loud just because it can be a distraction. For hair and makeup, you should keep it very, very simple. Again, this is just so, you know, the agents and clients can really see what you look like. So I would recommend you having very, very minimal makeup, you know, mascara, maybe a little bit of cover up on any blemishes, but I'd keep it a very, very natural look. And same goes with hair. You can do, you know, a little bit to it, but I wouldn't style it too much. Again, they really do want to see the natural you and to see what they're working with. So after you have your headshot done, I would then get a shot of your entire body. I would do one from the front, from the side, and then from the back. And this kind of gives the agencies and, you know, the clients, that gives them kind of a 360 of what you really look like. And then from there, guys, you can take more photos, you know, in outfits that you look really good in. Sometimes when you're applying to agencies, which I'll get to in a minute, sometimes when you're applying to agencies, they really just want a headshot and a full body shot, and that's it. Some other agencies, they do allow you to submit other photos of yourself. So you can take more photos if you'd like, or you can just leave it just with a headshot and a full body shot. Again, these do not have to be professional. You do not have to pay for them. And I'll get a little bit more into that in a second about when you should, or when it would be beneficial for you to pay for a headshot. So I'll get to that in a second. This one's an old one of mine, but this is my comp card. Again, these are professional photos done, but when I first started out modeling, I did not have any professional photos like this. I literally had my sister take it off my camera at the time. But yeah, so this is something called a comp card. It's kind of like a simplified portfolio that has a couple different shots of what I look like and then my measurements. Again, it does not have to be super professional right now, just because you're trying to get into the agencies. You're trying to get signed by an agency right now. Which brings me to the next step, which is to find an agent or an agency. What an agent or an agency does is they're kind of more or less your boss. So once you get signed by an agent, they'll try to find you bookings and gigs and shoots that you will be going to and will be paid for. So the first thing is trying to get signed by an agency. So every agency is kind of different. Some only have, you know, high fashion modeling. Some only have lifestyle modeling. Some have a combination of all of them, you know, children, adults, you know, so there can be really a wide range of modeling agencies. And to find a modeling agency, what you should literally do is, you know, Google modeling agency in wherever your nearest town is. Sorry, there's construction going on outside, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. So the best thing again to do is just to kind of Google it, and so literally just be like modeling agencies in, you know, downtown Minneapolis, modeling agencies in Houston, Texas. So wherever your nearest large city is, I would just Google that. From there, I'd find 5 different agencies that have your kind of style of modeling that you want to get into. And first, I would obviously make sure they're legit. I would make sure there's real reviews, that they have a legit website. You know, obviously like safety first. So just make sure they're a legit agency. And then from there, they're gonna have on their website, somewhere on their website, it will say, you know, how to apply. So some agencies, there's an online application, and you literally just fill it out online and you submit your photos and you upload your measurements and then you submit the form. Other agencies want you to literally print off your headshot, physically mail in your information to them. So depending on your agency, make sure you just know what their application process, and then you can go ahead and apply to those 5.
She said, boy, these are the terms to play.
So the last and final step kind of depends on if you're signed or, you know, if you're accepted by an agency or not. So if you're not accepted by an agency, no worries. Honestly, it's super competitive. They see hundreds of women, you know, every single month, and you know, they only might be selecting a few. So honestly, don't worry. There's 2 things I would recommend to do. You can apply to, you know, 5 or 10 different agencies that you find in, you know, your nearest city. Applying for those and try to see if you hear back from anything from them. So if you still didn't hear back from applying to those 5 or 10 different agencies, I would say then to have your headshots kind of redone. And that's when I would say that you may want to pay for someone to take your photos. You absolutely do not have to do this. You do not have to pay for someone to take your headshot, but sometimes it does help with looking a little bit more professional when you're applying to an agency. But again, by no means do you have to. Sometimes they can cost anywhere from, you know, $100 to $300 to $400. So, you know, and to find someone who does photography, you can literally Google it online. But from there, then after you got your professional headshot, then I would go and I would apply to the agencies again and do the process kind of over again. So the last thing is if your agent does accept you and does want to sign with you. So that is very, very good. And I just have some recommendations from that point on. So I would say when you start out modeling, at least when I started out modeling, in the beginning, they send you out to a bunch of different castings. And what a casting is basically another word for, you know, a tryout. You go in front of the clients, you know, in front of the company, and they just want to see how you look. But your agency is going to send you out to, you know, a lot of different castings just to see, you know, what companies really like you and they want to, you know, use you again in the future. So I would say really try and free up your time as much as possible, especially when you're first signing with an agency, just again because they're going to send you out to the different castings and they're gonna send your headshot into a lot of different, you know, companies to see who would like to shoot with you and book you. Another thing they might do is after you sign with them, they might then, if you didn't have professional photos done before, they might ask you at that time after you've signed with them to get professional photos done, just because it looks a little bit more professional. And when they do send your photo off to, you know, these big companies, they want to represent you very professionally. So at the time they might ask you to get professional headshots done. I would try to go to as many castings as possible. Say you get 1 in every 10 castings, and I've been modeling again for 8 years and that still holds true for me. I probably get 1 in every 8 castings. So, so I try to go to as many castings as possible. If you hear no from a casting, it's not a big deal. Again, they're seeing a lot of women a day, and so yeah, just go to as many castings as possible in the beginning, and hopefully you will get booked for a gig. But thank you guys so much. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments down in the comment section below. I will try to answer back to everybody. I will be making a new video about castings and kind of the tryout process and what it kind of looks like. And I'll probably have that uploaded in a week or so. So you let me know if you guys want to see any more videos about modeling or the modeling process or the modeling world. I would be more than happy to make them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Feel your sunshine.